Today, I want to share 5 steps that have helped me overcome the struggle with being too fat, the struggle with being too loud, the struggle with being too ambitious. So step number 1 is self-knowledge. The question is, do you know yourself? Do you know your brightness? And then, do you know your darkness? So the brightness is our beautiful smile. Our brightness is our happy-go attitude. The brightness is how welcoming we are to everybody around us. But what about that darkness? Do you know your anger issues? Do you perhaps know that you are sometimes jealous? Or perhaps you struggle with envy? Whatever it is, make sure that you know who you are. Know all parts of yourself. Because when you know who you are, when you know your strengths and your weaknesses, you can shine in your brilliance. Step number 2. Do you wonder why you get trolled? I was recently fat shamed on a YouTube video that I made. And somebody left me a comment that said, being fat is neither sexy nor brilliant. When I first looked at it, this made me go, wow, this hurt. It hurt my ego. And then later on, through some reflection, through the help of my professionals around me, I was able to recognize that people's perception is just theirs. What is important is, what do you think about yourself? Do you think of yourself as sexy in spite of your size, in spite of your long hair, short hair, your skin color, your dark skin, your light skin? Do you look in the mirror and say, I am sexy and I am brilliant? Sexiness is how you define yourself. And don't let anybody take that away from you. Don't let anybody take away your power. Step number 3, self-acceptance. When we accept ourselves, we make room to accept others, i.e., we spoke about self-knowledge, where we know who we are. We know our brightness. We also know our weakness. And from there, we have to practice radical self-acceptance. Because when we accept ourselves, we make room to accept others. And then when we accept ourselves, not only our brightness, but also our weakness, we can have a loving relationship with all parts of ourselves. Because remember, no part of you is your own enemy. Step number 4. Fat is not a bad word, is it? Think of it like this. Today, if you are standing in front of an alien who weighs 50 tons, and here you are, in my case, I weigh 200 pounds. And if I am comparing myself to a 50-ton alien, guess what? I'm going to be small in comparison. So everything is a perspective. If you're standing in front of somebody who's too thin, do you label them as too thin? If you're standing in front of somebody who's an alien, do you label them as too fat? So you have to go back and say, fat is not a bad word. It's all a matter of how you look at things. And when you look at the good in everybody, guess what happens? You start looking at the good that you have also. Because the goal is to have a loving relationship with yourself. Step number 5, unlearn all those messages that are telling you that you are not good enough. Unlearn everything that is keeping you in boxes. Because these are people who are speaking from their own cultural experiences, their own societal experiences. What you have to do is listen to your intuition. Your intuition is always giving you powerful messages. Listen to that inner voice that is saying that you are sexy and you are brilliant. Because the more we listen to our inner voice, the stronger we get, the more confident we get. Because the goal is to connect to that spiritual divine being that you are.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos by us.